Welcome to Daily Armor. Today I'm in Exodus chapter 15, looking at verse number 13. If I had to title this little devotion this morning, it would be Mercy for the Journey. The Lord is taking us somewhere. He has redeemed us in order to take us with Him to where He's going, to where He is. He's leading us and guiding us to where He is. And we'll see that in this verse. And when I think about the journey, it's long. And along the journey, I mess up. And when I think about mercy, I think about needing that mercy, that help in spite of my unfaithfulness, in spite of my mistakes, in spite of my shortcomings, in spite of me. He gives mercy. Because that's how much He loves us. It's that perfect love. If I think about how many times I've heard somebody say, how could somebody do that? How could somebody do this? How could that ever happen? How could that person ever walk away from the Lord? How could that person walk out on that marriage? How can that person, do this or do that? How does that even happen? And then I remember when I was young, very young, probably, late teens, early 20s, I remember saying, and probably said it on multiple occasions, I remember saying, I would never do that. I would never. That's never going to happen to me. I will never fall for that trap. I will never do that. That will never happen to me. I remember saying that, especially when I was, late teens, early 20s. And more on, and just remembering another occasion when I said that, another circumstance where I said that. And then as I look back, I realized, hey, you know what? Circumstances were this and that, and things, happened, and I found out that I was capable of that. I found out that, yes, I am guilty of that as well now. And so when you hear of things happening and you see it in others, it's so easy to see it in others, but it's so difficult sometimes for us to see it in ourselves. We're so bad to point, but forget all these fingers pointing back at us. I can't point at you and say, I can't believe you did that, without pointing at myself and says, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe that I'm guilty of that. Why does the Lord love me? Why does He put up with me? And that's where I get. And as I'm, the older and older I get, that's the more I see that, looking back, all those things that I said I would never do, I've been guilty of. And I started changing, through my mid-20s. I started noticing, I was like, oh, Lord, I need you to help me that I don't do that. I need you to guide me that I don't do that. I don't have a desire to, but Lord, I know if the circumstances were, tweaked a little here, a little there, I know the enemy can provide that enticement in a particular circumstance. I know that I could fall prey to that. That could happen to me, that is something that I could be guilty of. And Lord, I don't want to. And I need His leadership, I need His guidance, and I need His mercy for those times when I do trip and fall and mess up. And because they're going to happen, they have happened along my journey. I don't know what your journey looks like, but I remember and I just told this to my Sunday school class, as a kid, I was so clumsy. I do things too fast, too quickly, and I will trip, I will stumble. I have caught my hip on stuff, round in the corner and catch something because I cut the corner too quick. I have been running through. I know there was a time in my basement, I just was like cleaning. We had a full basement back in North Carolina that was finished, and that's where the older boys stayed, and I was cleaning, and it seemed like for a month that I was just doing everything I was vacuuming too quickly, trying to do everything too quickly, and I kept stubbing the same toe, breaking the same toe, and had a difficult time wearing shoes for a long time because that's just how I fall, I stumble, I run into things, I get bruised, and those are things that happen to me. So my journey has a tendency to be rough and difficult, and I don't know what your journey's looking like, but my journey is in need of some mercy. And that's just all I've been thinking about is the Lord's mercy for several days. And it made me think of, before I even get into Exodus 15:13, let's flip over to Psalms 23 and verse number 6, because in his mercy, he's reminding me, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. In other words, he's taken me somewhere. He's taken me to his house. He's got a long journey down here for me until I get there, but he's taken me there, and he is providing me what I need, and he's even got goodness and mercy following me. Why do I need goodness and mercy? Because of me. Why do you need goodness and mercy? Because of those things that you've done, those things that you get distracted, those things that happen to you, those things that you mess up, those things that bring a difficult journey. Let's look here in Exodus chapter 15 and verse number 13. And this is a song of Moses. This is for their journey. The children of Israel, he's leading the children of Israel. They've went across the Red Sea. They've come to a place where they didn't have any water, and God changed the bitter waters of Marah to sweet, and they didn't have any of this, and then God was just providing along the journey, and Moses is realizing, God, this is what he's doing along the journey. Verse number 13 says, thou in thy mercy hast led forth the people which thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in thy strength unto thy holy habitation. He's got a place set apart for me, and he's got a place set apart for you. He's purchased us. We've been redeemed. And it's him that's done that. We see thou and thy. You see him 6 times. In one verse, 6 times. It's all about him. And him in his mercy has led. Him and his mercy is leading me in mercy. I need his mercy. You need his mercy. And he's saying it's available. And I have a terrible time accepting his mercy sometimes. Sometimes I want to avoid it because I'm like, Lord, I don't deserve it. I know better. And I did it anyway. Lord, I knew that was something I needed to do, and I failed to do it. Lord, that was a phone call that I was supposed to make, and I forgot. But Lord, that's not an excuse. Forgetting is not an excuse. That was whatever the situation is. But him and his mercy has led me. He's leading me in mercy. Why do I need that mercy? Because he's never going to be unfaithful, but I'm going to be unfaithful. You're going to be unfaithful in something, in some area of your life. Why? Because we're human, we're not perfect. And because of my imperfections, I need his perfect love. And his perfect love has goodness and mercy. And he's got them following me around everywhere I go because he knows I'm going to need it. I mean, they are on my heels all the time because I need him. I need him. Thou and thy mercy has led. To lead means to bring, to guide, to govern. He's got things set aside, a place for me to go. And sometimes I get to wanting to go where I want to go. And he's like, no, I'm leading you over here. This is a specific place. This is a specific purpose. This is for you. This is what you need. His mercy, that's, banking on his faithfulness, his goodness, his kindness, his good deeds toward me anyway, in spite of me, in spite of my causing him shame and causing him reproach and causing him trouble and causing him, discomfort or whatever that I cause for him, disappointment. I go back to the mercy. He's faithful and he's good and he's kind and he's loving and he does those good things for me and for you anyway. You have led forth the people. That's all of us. That's not just me, but that's all of us. That's all of those that have been bought with a price, with that precious blood of Jesus Christ, which thou hast redeemed. Redeemed means he's paid it. Means that that I've been redeemed from slavery, from that bondage of sin. That he is my avenger. He is my kinsman redeemer. I love this one. It said to exact vengeance. To exact vengeance. When it's the enemy has just attacked and attacked and attacked and attacked. And the Lord says, you know what? Vengeance is of the Lord. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. He's like, I don't want you to take revenge. I don't want you the vengeance is not for you. You can't handle it. It's not for you. But it's for him. He's saying, let me take care of that. He says, I can pay that price. I can do that. I can take care of that situation because he's the Redeemer and I'm the one that's been redeemed. I can't redeem myself, but he is my Redeemer. Thou hast guided them in thy strength. So that guiding, I like the definition. It means to carry, to feed. In other words, if he's the one guiding, then he's the one that's taking care of everything. When you go on a guided tour, the guide is to take care of everything that you're going to need. They're going to take care of your route, your transportation. If usually a good tour, a good guided tour is going to have water. It's going to take you to places where you can get a snack. It's going to take care of all those things you're going to need along the journey. And that's what a guide does. And God is our guide. It means that it's up to him. And he is going to do it perfectly, that he is going to carry when we need carrying. And sometimes I need to be carried. Sometimes I need to crawl up in his lap. Sometimes I need a piggyback ride. Sometimes I need him to hold me and carry me like a baby. I need him to carry me and he's going to feed me. It said gently on. In other words, sometimes he's gentle with us and I'm expecting him to be harsh. And I'm finding out he's being gentle. And I'm not always used to that because I'm hard on myself and I'm not used to that gentleness, but that's him. And along that journey, he knows how to give rest. He knows how to sustain us. And he's doing all that. And how is he doing all that? Not based on me. In his strength. It says in thy strength. In thy strength. His strength. That's my security. His majesty, his power, and he's got it all. All the strength, all the power, all the majesty. It's all him. Unto, he's taking us to somewhere. He's got somewhere he's taking you. He's taking you on a journey. He's taking me on a journey to thy holy habitation. When it talks about it's about him, it's about what he's decided. And it means that if it's holy, that it's consecrated, dedicated, hallowed, a sacred place, a set apart place, a place set apart for me and a place set apart for you. That habitation, that's a dwelling. I like this pleasant place. That's where I'm going to be most content, is wherever he has for me. Whatever he has for me, wherever he has for me, that's where I'm going to find that rest. That's where I'm going to find that pleasant place. That's where I'm going to be home. And that satisfaction, that residence that brings me satisfaction, that discontent that I have been feeling all along the journey, when we finally get there, it's going to be like, oh, this is what we've been waiting for, and I never need to go anywhere else. It's that his holy habitation, he's bringing us home to him, with him, to his place, to that place that he's got set apart for me and for you. And along that journey, He's providing that mercy that we need along that journey. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again soon.